Greetings from the Second Age of Reason. Just a quick note on what people call Obamacare. Now, I'm trying to help you because there was this writer, Ayn Rand. Now, I don't believe everything she says, but she did say something very smart at one point. That conceptual awareness is the algebra of cognition. In other words, it's very important to know what you're talking about and to break things down into what they really are. And people call Obamacare health care reform. It is not. It's health insurance legislation, precisely. Its goal is to make health insurance available and affordable to you. So it's people who call it socialist medicine have no idea what they're talking about. It's not. It's not single payer by any means. It's health insurance. And it addresses several aspects of insurance that have been problematic for most Americans. Number one, pre-existing conditions. Everything we have by the time you're my age is pre-existing. So the insurance either has to cover it, and if they don't cover anything that's pre-existing, there's no point in insurance, right? Number two, lifetime limits. Given the cost of healthcare inflation these days, it's very easy to hit the $1 million limit. So after you've reached that limit, there's no point to insurance anymore, is there? Because they won't pay anyway. So those are two important things it covers. And as far as insurance legislation goes, I think they're probably okay. But as far as health care itself, clinical practice, and the billing mechanisms, it addresses nothing about that. But in fact, I've been a proponent of single payer. It has to be done right. If you're not going to do it right, don't even bother. But if it's done right, single payer will do away with the need for Obamacare insurance reform, because you won't need insurance. You just go to the doctor and they take care of it, and they bill the government, and the government decides what to reimburse them. They don't have to be a government employee, agency, institution. They can still be private, but they'll have to live within their means of their government reimbursements. Secondly, single payer does away with Medicare. They don't need to cover the old people especially, because everybody's covered under the single payer. It does away with Medicaid, because even the poor people. Secondly, it does away with Medicaid, because even the poor people will be covered by single payer, and they won't have to pay a penny out of pocket. People will say, that's where people think they get something for nothing. Oh, you're not getting it for nothing. You're paying for it with your tax money. But as for me, I would rather have my tax money spent on making the American people healthy and smart, rather than on fighting wars, expanding the empire for the sake of corporations taking control of the world's natural resources. Depends where you want the government to spend your tax dollars, what you think is a smart spending of it. Because you're not going to get out of paying taxes. They'll always come at you. And lastly is the idea of the cashless society. This is along the lines with the AT&T, the arms trade treaty. They will want to have the banks be in with this as well, so that when you buy something, they will know you bought something. They'll know where you bought something. They'll know what you bought, because it's all tied to the banking system. A cashless society has no privacy, none whatsoever. And if they decide they don't like you, they just simply turn off your access to your money. Whereas with cash, you have it in your pocket. And another point about people saying that the government is printing and printing all this money. The government is not printing money. Look in your wallet. If you still have paper money, Federal Reserve notes, look at them. Look at the dates on them. Are there a lot of them from this year, last year, even 2010? No. They're not printing money. They may be adding it into a database, and it's e-money, cashless money. So that's not where you have to worry about the printing presses. That's a urban legend now. All this printing of cash money. That doesn't ever happen. In which case it's the Federal Reserve, which is not the government. It's the banks. The banks create money from nothing. I think you should bear that in mind. The $800 trillion to $1.4 quadrillion of derivatives created from nothing, not by the government. That's far more money than the government could ever create. Just setting some things straight. So until later, we'll be seeing it.